Computer. Lights.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Thursday. It's September 30th, and so I'm wearing orange shirt day. In Canada, there has been an awful lot of children who've been abducted and women who've been abducted off of the Indigenous areas, and they're finding horrible atrocities that occurred over the years in the schools up in Canada, and probably down here too. We just haven't found it yet. Odds are good though. And so today is Orange Shirt Day, where we wear an orange shirt to remind everybody that these things happened, and we need to make sure that they don't happen again. I am somewhat connected to the Indigenous culture here in Colorado and everything like that. My mom used to work with the Indigenous tribes and groups here when she was filming movies, when she was with production companies. She was the person who interfaced with the Indigenous cultures. And so I grew up with a bunch of Indigenous buddies. And so even though I don't talk a lot about it, it is one of my my connections, I guess, in life. I don't know. I'm connected to the Indigenous culture, just, so it's a thing. And George is attacking my foot. Pest. He's a pest. Aha. I'm arm wrestling with a cat. So that's why I'm wearing the shirt. And that's what we're dedicating kind of the show to today, is some awareness of the people who are being lost off of in all of the different locations all over the place in Indigenous tribes. And my cat is distracting me. You pest. You're a pest. You're a pest. You. If he's a bud, makes him a bud a pest. Oh, come on. That was funny. Oh, give me that one. Oh. Okay. I also hauled out my tiny starships collection. I went to the Enchanted Grounds, the local coffee shop game spot here in Colorado. It's in the south part of town, and they were selling Eagle Moss ships, really obscure Eagle Moss ships, for really cheap. And so, so they were like $7, and I can't turn down starships for $7. So now I have a Tellarite starship, which is great. Aha! I got your paw. This Tellarite starship. I didn't actually know that this was like hollow in the center back here. This is kind of cool. It looks kind of like there are engines in there. It's very hard to see, but it kind of looks like there's little teeny engines there. Like this center section can separate or come out in some way. I don't know. But now I'm like all intrigued. I mean, this is Enterprise era. So I would think that it gets to the point where they're like, well, maybe we should separate the star drive because it's going to explode, or something. So I got that. Got this beautiful Gorn ship, and I love the warp nacelle caps. They're so pretty, and they're like very purple. I think that's awesome. But yeah, Gorn ships are cool. First time I really had my hands on a Gorn ship was when they released one for Attack Wing, but now I have a larger version of it, which I dig. I dig this ship. So I don't have that many of these Eagle Moss because they're expensive, but I did fork out the cash once to get an Intrepid, which is great because I love the Intrepid. I love half dish ships. I always have. Kind of want to figure out, now that I've got a printer, how I'm going to deal with printing like a Hornet class, which is this fandom class ship that was, he decided to lay down here, so now I'm stepping on him. Now he's like, how did you find me? I am a totally black cat. There's no way you can see me. He's like, I have stealth. I'm a black cat. There's no way you can see me. I see you. How do you see me? He's George. George is George. That'll never change. So anyway, okay, so today we've got kind of a potpourri. I was working on star maps, and I know we're going to get no star maps from Brent. But yes, star maps. So, and it's only because we are almost done here. We are almost done. This star map is definitive now. We just need to come up with the name of these fortresses, and we're done. Right? Because these fortresses out here are like this one's Gateway Station. I'm okay with that. That makes some sense. It doesn't need to be anything other than Gateway Station. But like we've got to come up with the fortresses out here in the Reach. There's 2 of them that are just fortresses. Transfer station is in the Pleiadian transfer. This map now has speed variables. We're going to redo our speed charts because I realized I was off by 1 order of magnitude on everything in the original speed charts I had. So you are in a mood today, you pest. So we're going to deal with all of that. Then we're going to put a key right here, and we're going to call this one definitive. So that's where we are. For reasons that are stupid, I closed Daz Studio, and now I'm going to have to reopen Daz Studio. Because we still need the distances to put them in here correctly. So all right. There you go. And all I'm going to do is just use my phone, and I'm just going to take a picture because I just need a note. Right? I just need to know what this is. We'll do the same thing with the wall trade routes. There aren't that many. There we go. Now we can close. And work here only. Okay. Everything that I wrote in here, now we're going to have to do as we've done before. You know, I don't know if I want you sitting up there. Yeah, you pest. Don't sit on the computer pod. Short out the computer. Okay, we're going to check our randomizers because we need fortress names or Tattoo parlors. No, wait, not tattoo parlors. That'd be funny though. I'm in my random name generator here. Dungeon names. That's cool. Hideout names, maybe. Museum names, Nebula, nightclub. Most useful thing on the planet. Tower names. Some of those are kind of cool. Heaven's Mast. That's cool. I think if we were to call these, if we were to assume that, I don't know, seems like that lends itself to penis jokes. So maybe that's not so good. Let's see. Cliff and Ford, Continent, Country and Nation, amusement parks, harbors, islands, Isthmus, Merry Isthmus, lighthouse. I would be amazed if somehow this became futuristic names. Oh yeah, something just try to open. That's weird. Caveman names. Death names. AI names. Cool. Hobbit names. Imp names. Well, I'm not finding what I'm looking for. Steampunk house names. Star names. Flop. Oh, I love these. That's nice. Shasriox, I will call. I like some of the. Okay, we're good here. Some of these are good. Shasriox Fortress. Digging it. And Kiye Fortress. Those are good names. Those are solid names. These forward fortresses live on the frontier, which means that one of them probably could be just called Frontier Fortress. Because this one's the one that most definitely faces out of Unity's space towards the bad guys, right? So that's Frontier Station. Chew sticks. I like that. Port hay. One more fortress, and we can call that one a good one. Says toi. Because there are a lot of names that are French-esque in here, and so this works. Now let's go to the back side here and head to the two forts that are on the back side of the and this time I will use the tower names because I liked those tower names. Because Utopia Lookout is a great name. Right? I mean, it's like especially since it's probably at like the worst. No, over here by Bone. Bone is awesome. Any place called Bone is neat in my book. So Utopia Lookout near the planet Bone. Hmm. Yeah, see, none of these are as good. That's right. We got other places we can do here, like lighthouses, because that actually might be kind of cool. Broadson Light. I feel like that's a good one for this guy. There. Everybody has a name, right? Everybody has a name. Good. Add the blending. Here's a note for those of you who are wondering about Photoshop. You can add an attribute to everything in a group by putting them all in a folder. So like in this instance, I'm just putting a white stroke around the outside of everybody so that they can be read. Otherwise, you can't read them when they travel over these travel lines. It becomes difficult. Right? But you can hit all of these guys at the same time. And this becomes Chasroy. I like Chasroy. What a name. Hey. Now that we've done that, let's put in our distances in this map will be done. Okay. Port Longfall to Harleton Hold. We'll start there. I'm going to put all of these in an sort of an orangish red. So it's 6 and 6. It's 6 parsecs to the wall. Which is 6. Right? And it's also 6 from the wall to Halton Hold. Right? Now, if we move out here, we get between Gateway Station and Bastion de Marceau. These aren't really all 6, but it's easier if I've already placed them. I may have to move Bethune's name over a little so that the distance marker can be in there. Yeah, nobody here yet. That's all right. Napas to the transfer station is 4 parsecs. 4. All right. Sedipso to Napas is 4. That's good because these are going to be slow transfers. Rogar to Sedipso is 5.5. Bethune to Rogar is 4. Westlow's Citadel to Bethune, 6. Okay, good. Marley Keep to Westlow's is also 6. Good. Halton Hold to Marlin Keep. Merely a keep. It's merely a keep. There's also 6. There's a lot of 6s here. Gateway Station to Bastion is 16. That's a long haul. It's a long haul at slow speed. All right. That puts us there. Now we'll try all of the other ones on the other side. Whoa. You. Don't be ridiculous. Okay. Now we'll take you and we'll just copy you and put you right here. copy you again and put you right here. I feel like those aren't going to be very small. Okay. The enclave to the hub. It's 6.1, so 6. Bellatrix to the enclave is 4. Bellatrix to the Echo Stronghold. No, it's in here. It's 2. Bellatrix to Ash Storm. 5.5. Bellatrix to Shoagro. 4. Bellatrix to Skiles. 5. Bellatrix to the Unknown Home. 8. All right. We got Bellatrix 2. Ember Storm. 6. Perfect. Bellatrix 2, the Triangle, which is the Epoch. 5. And then the epoch to the paragon, I think, is 1. Epoch to tribute is 1. 1.4. I'm just going to call it 1. The triangle is really, really close. Okay. Unknown home to the gap jump actually is 12. Good. Brian's not dead. Always a plus. And unknown home to gap jump or the Port Longfall is 8. Right, and then Port Longfall to Gateway Station and to the wall should be about 6. That makes sense. But we'll make sure. Port Longfall to the wall is 6. Okay, good. From Longfall to Gateway Station is 5. So it's slightly closer to head into Gateway than it is to just go straight to the wall, which makes sense. It's 12 parsecs total from Port Longfall to Harleton Hold, 6 to the wall and 6 to the hold. So Emmett Cluster, let's go Gallon Fair to Breakwater. Really? It's only 6? Wouldn't have thought that. Shoegro to Sanctum K. It's 2. Everything's really close once you get into the cluster. Shoegro to Gallon Fair. It's 2. Yeah, see, everything's Gallon Fair to Bright Folk. It's 4. And then Bright Folk to Corpar. Bright Folk to Chemsholm is 2. I'll bet you that Bright Folk to Corpar is also 2. 1.5. Okay. Let's make sure that Bellatrix to Emberstrom is 6. Okay. 4, 6. Yep. I think that's everybody. Works for me. All right, what we're going to do now, take all of these guys and do the same thing we just did with this and say distances, blending options. Put a stroke on these guys too. Looks exactly the same as the other one. I'm good with that. Now we just go through and make sure nobody's colliding with one another. Looking at you. There we go. Nobody's missing a line anywhere. Yep, there's one right there. We're missing a line right there. Skiles to Port Longfall. Gonna find Skiles to Port Longfall in here. Because I think that's the exit out. Or is it? Or is it? Huh. I guess I didn't make an exit from Skiles to Port Longfall. Well, fine. Does make it strange why you're going out to the unknown home and then out to Port Longfall. When I think Skiles to Port Longfall would be a faster route out to the wall. I mean, legitimately kind of thinking that through. But we don't have that measured. I don't think. Skiles to Port Longfall, I don't think we have measured. So we'll see if that's a thing. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, even technically, this is a route that is more logical. Sanctum K out, right? Although that's 2 stops. So I think the best one would probably be this one. So we'll just duplicate this. And we'll put it in. Only doing the last bits. I'm actually literally wrapping it up and then it will be done. You weren't here, so I wasn't worried about you. Figured I could do them in safety because you weren't here. There's a route that's missing, and we should fix this route. Yeah. Because the more I think about it, the more I think a route between Skiles and Port Longfall makes sense. It's a long route, though. I think we'd have to make something that says something to the effect of, if it's over a certain amount of distance, it's dangerous to be out there by yourself. Because this is 11 parsecs. All right. Save it, and we'll call it good. And we'll close that, and then we'll just call this 11 parsecs from Skiles to Port Longfall. And we'll move that over and down. And that's it. Now you can see my master map so that everything is in here. And all is good. Okay. I'll save as. And probably ought to put it in my star maps directory. Call it Unity Map 2 Master. No, really. Stupid. And then I'll save it. Which now you have to say save as a copy. Otherwise, it won't give you all of the options anymore. There we go. Putting all the bangs in there. Final map ever. Final map, damn it. Damn it, final map 2. The finalist map of the finalist maps. It could happen. But now I have this, which now tells me a little bit more about, because so the other map that we did was off by an order of magnitude. So where I was putting something was 81 parsecs, it really was 8.1 parsecs. So now I've got to readjust my speeds. And you'll notice something else that I did in here. I put yellow and red zones now. The yellow zones are slower speeds. You have to slow down because you're going through the clouds. And then the red zones are gravitational shear and choppy weather, so to speak, all the time. So you have to slow down even more. So we have 3 different speeds on this map. We've got, and so what I came up with was the average distance between cities on the planet here, Earth, is about 3,000 kilometers. That wasn't what I meant. 300 kilometers. Right. Is that right? Because that can't be right. Because now I'm like looking at this going, wait a minute. The average distance between cities. Average distance between major cities. Okay, so here's what it says. In Africa, the average distance between... Oop, I didn't mean to close that. Now I can't see you. I'm sure you're still here, but now I can't see you. Right? The average distance between major cities is... In Europe, it's 1,300 clicks, right? In North America, it's 2,200 clicks. Let's do the quick math, guys. Let's do the quick math. And I'll tell you why I'm doing this. Because story-wise, sometimes you do something because it's, important for realism. In this instance, I'm doing it because it's important for story. Because we're talking about a light speed engine. Okay, so total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divided by, let's just take 1470 or 14,700 divided by 5. So the average distance here is 2,940 kilometers, right? So that's about the average distance between major cities in the United States, or in the world, not the United States, in the entire world. So 2,940. Take that. 2,940. You divide that by 120, you get 24 hours. So it takes about a day on average to get between two major cities. So, knowing that, we look here, we look at the map, and the average seems to be about, I'm just eyeballing it, the average seems to be about 6, right? So, we should travel 1 parsec every 4 hours, should be our average speed. Right? That'll get us, it'll take a day from Port Longfall to the wall, and it'll take a day to get from Gallon Fair out to Breakwater, and it'll take a day to get from Bellatrix to Emberstorm Gate Garrison. You get the idea. Take just a little less than a day to get from Bellatrix to the Epoch. You know what I mean? Like it makes some reasonable sort of thing. So we're going to make that a rule once I find my pen, which I have now hidden for myself. There we are. So 4 parsecs an hour is normal speed. And I actually would call that like, all out. Not all out, but you're at warp 8, if you were Star Trek's terms. That's your standard cruising speed. Now, 4 parsecs is 3.26. It's 13 light years. Right? So we can traverse 13 light years in an hour. That's actually really freaking fast. Does that seem right? Because if you think about the stars that are closest to us, well, on the flip side, thinking about this from the other side, not all of the stars in the cluster around Bellatrix distance. Oh, here we go again. We're starting to drop off the map. I swear. Having connection problems, guys. I know you're shocked. Hey, I don't know which one dropped off the edge, but one of them dropped off the edge. So I'm back. Okay, so looks like the average distance between two stars in this area is about 5 light years. Right? And that's. You didn't. It was me. I dropped off the edge. So it wasn't you, it was me. Okay, so in this part of the galaxy, because of course, density changes by viscosity of gravity of the area. In this part of the galaxy where we are, where Bellatrix is, the average distance is 5 light years. 5 light years is 1 point something parsecs, about 2 parsecs. So, full speed for a ship is 4 parsecs an hour, or 13 light years an hour. That would get us from Earth to Sirius and back in about an hour and a half. So that's a seriously high speed. Serious. Did you get the joke? Did you? Anyway. So nobody really travels at that speed because that's emergency power. Most of the time, they're going to travel at about half that speed, which is 2 parsecs an hour. And that puts it at 6.5 light years an hour. Okay, that's, and we should probably come up with ship speeds that make sense, like, flank and full, and like, what are those values? Because it's not going to be warp 1, warp 2, warp 3. That's just not going to happen. So yeah, 4 parsecs an hour would be flank speed. Flank speed is your, oh my God, we're in trouble. The thing is chasing us. Go now. Clink, 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 clink. You put the little signaler all the way to flank. Flank speed is like blasting through space as fast as possible. It's hard on your pilot because the pilot has to do a lot of, white ensign navies, huh? Yeah. Okay, so I'm reading through things now. Engine order telegraph. An engine order telegraph is also known as a Chadburn. Huh. Looking at a Chadburn. I like the name Chadburn. I'm writing that down. I don't know if anybody's going to use a Chadburn or not, but you know. Interesting. This is even cooler. So, modern ships use a throttle system that's similar, like this. That's kind of cool. And you still have the Chadburn. It just looks different. Huh. 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 Fascinating. This is definitely a TIL thing. So I hate to use American centric terms, but I'm going to use American centric terms. Okay, so this looks pretty straight up, right? You could do slow, half, and full. Then dead slow would be 0.5. Dead slow. Yeah. I mean, it's like really easy. There's dead slow, 0.5. There's slow, which is 1 parsec an hour. Then there's half, which is 2 parsecs an hour. There's full, which is 3 parsecs an hour. And then there's flank, which is 4 parsecs an hour. I think we will add military. Because that's important. I think the military should have specially trained pilots so they can steer quicker. They're more agile, maybe even enhanced. And Navy ships military ships should be better equipped for traveling at higher speeds. So there is a 5 parsecs an hour. It's just that it's known as it's already time for a break. Wow, it's been exciting. Okay, we will real quickly add out here speeds. So dead slow, 0.5 parsecs an hour. Slow, 1 parsec hour. Half, 2 parsecs hour. Full, 3 parsecs hour. flank for military. 6. I'll do this. Nice. There we go. That gives us an idea of how things work here. And then these 3 are reserved for being in blue areas. And these are reserved for being in yellow. And this should be black. I'm just saying. All right. There we go. And we'll take and make a white rectangle. And put it underneath here. There we go. So, can't see anything. Slow in half. So, on the blue lines, you can do full flank and military speeds. On the yellow lines, we have to do slow in half at tops. And on the red lines, we have to do dead slow. So it's going to take 12 hours to get from West Lowes to Batoon and 8 more hours to get to Rogar. Okay, that's fair. Okay, we have a key. We have speeds determined. Feel like this map says everything I want it to say. Except that this probably should say in space speeds. You can make it to Skiles in 1 hour if you've got a military ship. It's a little over an hour at flank speed. It's 2 hours at full speed. There we go. And like you can, from Epoch to the Tribute would take 15 minutes. It'd take 10 minutes military speed. So like the triangle is a great place to hang out and be. All right, so there we go. Time for us to go out here and stretch a little. Oh gosh. Computer, what's the weather like today?
In our valley, it's 7 degrees Celsius with cloudy skies. Today, looking for lots of clouds with a high of 14 degrees and a low of 5 degrees.
It's going to make it to 14 today. All right. One thing I really want is a Chad Burn. I want to say the word Chad Burn. It's like that name. There. So I won't forget that's what that's called. There are some things where I think that they will have completely lost all like of the concepts and theories and stuff like that. They will have lost it all. But then there are some things where I'm thinking they're going to have traditions that go back 700 years. You'd be like, why? Why do you have this? I don't know. We just do that, because that seems about right. We've got a few things in our culture today that go all the way back to, 5,000 years ago. And then we like have a whole bunch of traditions that we just dropped. We just threw them away. And it's like there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just this time we decided to get rid of this theory, and that time we decided to get rid of that theory. And so it's kind of like I feel like we've got kind of this mix mash as to what we hold on to with dear life and what we don't. And the engine signaler just seems like a Chad burn. We can just keep calling it the Chad burn, and people will be like, "The heck does that mean?" Well, it's the thing we've held on to this entire time. Okay, so there we go. Just placing it correctly. There. On the Chad burn. Rocking the Chad burn. Rocking the Chad burn. Because I mean this is good because I feel like they'll get into everybody will assume everybody operates at about half. All ahead half, right? So most ships operate at all ahead half, which puts traveling all the way out to transfer station from Bellatrix is a long ass flight, right? So let's do that. Let's look at that real quick just to make sure. We're just doing the checks here. So Bellatrix to Skiles is 5, plus 11 to Port Longfall, plus 6, which is 22 parsecs in. Well, and if you're running at half, then it doesn't matter, right? Because then it's plus 12 out to Halt and Hold, plus 6 to Merely Keep, 6 to Westlow's Citadel, plus 5.5 from Rogar to Sidipso, plus 4 to Napsis. So that's anyway. That's going to be 55.5 at half. So, and then we have West Lowes to Batoon and Batoon to Rogar, which is 10 at dead slow, 0.5. So 55.5 times, no, divided by 2 is 27 3/4 hours, 75 hours, right? And then 10 divided by, or that's 10 times 2, it's 20 hours. So that's 47 hours. So here is the question of the hour. When I originally did all of these things a couple of nights ago, I had an order of magnitude difference, right? If I were to go from Bellatrix all the way out to the transfer station at Napas, near Napas, all the way out the end of the wall exclusion zone, that's like the furthest reach. And it's going to take us 47 hours, right? So 2 days. And that's at cruising speed. That's just like tootling along. Should we make this slower? And this is where the logic kind of comes in, right? If you look at the average distance being 6, and we were talking about the distance between cities, the average distance between cities is 2,900 kilometers, right? This is why I'm starting to think this needs to be scaled down. 2,900 kilometers at 120 kilometers an hour is a long ways, right? So the average distance between all of our stars is 6-ish, give or take 5 or 6. So 5 parsecs. So it should take a day to go 5 parsecs. And that should be at half speed. Because nobody's really like pushing it, right? So let's do that math and let's adjust our numbers. This is an important part of world building at this point in time because I really want to figure this out. So 5 divided by 20 gives us a 1/4 parsec. Right? So let's talk a little bit about that because that's what I'm thinking I want to do. Take red. We go half is 0.25 parsecs an hour. Right? Which makes full 0.5 parsecs an hour. And flank 0.75 parsecs an hour. There we go. This is better. And the military is 1 parsec an hour. So slow then would be 0.1 parsec an hour. And dead slow is 0.05 parsecs an hour. Because it's slow, you're at pretty much a light year. No, you're even less than that. Because at half, you're at a light year an hour, roughly, give or take. It's not quite, because a light year an hour would be, gosh, let's figure that out. Oh, excuse me. Right, would be 326. So one light year at half speed, you'd be going roughly 1 light year an hour. There we go. That is a speed that I think I want to deal with. So let's take that down a notch and check it again. This is kind of important because then whenever we have real distances between things, we now know how fast a ship can make it there and how fast they can do it and what speed they can do it in and things like that. Or if they want to head out of Bellatrix over here into Canacon Cave or Cove. Now let's check. So 55.5 at half speed times 0.25. I think that's what I wanted. Because that ended up being 13 hours. That's not what I meant, right? Okay, got to think the math out now. 55.5 at a quarter. Oh, no. Times 4. It's times 4. So that's 222 hours. That's better, right? That takes weeks. That's what I was after. And 10 times got to go the other direction somehow. That's a lot of hours. 0.05. Slow would be times 100 times 200. So that's 2,000 hours. Wait, now let's talk here. Right? So, because now I think we may have a problem. 2,000 plus 222 divided by 24 is 92 days. So now I may have gone a little too far the other direction. Because Now we've got to go somewhere between these two, because dead slow is the only speed that's allowed in those red zones, and it'll take 2,000 hours now, which is 90 days. So 3 months. It takes 3 months out of West Low's Citadel to get to Rogar. 3 months. That's a haul. So should I adjust slow to be... I mean, full is half a parsec an hour, right? So it's going to take... So from Port Longfall to, say, Gateway Station, at full speed is 10 hours. At flank, I can cut that down. At military, I can cut it down to 5 hours, but it's still 5 hours. Right? And so, like, now we're kind of out there. So we've got a difference between the distance between Port Longfall and Gateway is the same as, give or take, or let's just do like Gallon Fair to Breakwater, right? Gallon Fair to Breakwater is 6 parsecs. Westlow Citadel to Batoon is 6 parsecs, right? If I were to slam the throttle to the full, I could make Gallon Fair to Breakwater in 6 hours. It's a pretty good speed. Your pilot will be exhausted. You probably have to relieve your pilot every hour so that they're only flying in it for an hour, every time. So you'd have to have your pilot going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth with 2 different pilots, which that's exactly what I'm looking for. High drama, really scary. What the hell are you doing for 6 hours? That's a brutal, brutal, brutal thing. Something bad has happened. Cool. Makes sense. Normal speed, it takes, a full day to get from Gallon Fair to Breakwater at the normal speed, right? Okay, cool. Now we go from West Low's Citadel out to Batoon. Same distance, 6 parsecs, but it's a rough flight. So you're at 0.5%. So about 0.05 parsecs. So that means 0.05 parsecs is quite small. So I think I might want to speed that up, because at normal speed going from Gallon Fair to Breakwater would be a day, which is exactly what I was looking for. But at dead slow, which is what you have to be in the red zone there, 0.05 puts me at 6. Right? Making it work. Math doesn't work because I suck at math. Help me. Help me, Brent One Kenobi. You're my only hope. Okay, so 6 at, how long is it? How many hours will it take? Oh, that's divided. 120 hours. That's how long it takes. It's 5 days. That's not bad. 5 days isn't bad. Where did I get my weird numbers before? Yeah, 5 days. That's not so bad. 5 days out of Westlow's Citadel to Batoon. It makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. Everybody, you can just go back to your whatever you were doing. F 2 5 full is going to be 0.5. Flank is 0.75. And military is 1. That's what we're looking for. And that is the correct scale. So it's going to take 5 days to get from Westlow's Citadel to Batoon. But that's not a big deal. That makes sense. 5 days out of there is not going to be it's going to be unpleasant, but it's not going to be bad. Right. So half of okay. So there we go. Now we can save this. And now that I'm pretty happy with this, I can save it as a copy. Right. Unity 2, master, stupid, done it stuff. No. Again. We should call that road something. You know, the thing that's heading out of Port Longfall through Halton Hold, Merely Keep, Westlow's Citadel, Batoon, Rogar, Sidipso, Napas, and then out to the transfer station. That should be something specific. I don't know what that specific is, but it should be something specific, and I'm just saying. Okay. One more trip out here. Because, I mean, you think about it, there's like the Tokaido Road, right? And the Tokaido Road is cool. Places and locations. Let's see if they've got a road. Road names. Stepping Stone Passage, Everlasting Passage, the Gleaming Avenue. Rugton Road, I like that. Wape Hazy Pass. Yeah, I mean, because like here we got Langsano Road. Ooh, Lost Dragon Road. I like Lost Dragon Road. Let's do that. Okay. Because that's kind of cool. It gives it just a little bit of a mysticism to it. Lost Dragon Road. Right? We'll give it a little bit of a bend. Like that. Stupid Photoshop. Sort of fits in this zone right here. And then we'll call this, I don't know, what color should we make it? We should make it white. And give it a black style. There. There we go. The Lost Dragon Road. That's what this is called. The Lost Dragon Road. This entire little path out to Transfer Station is called the Lost Dragon Road. It's like the Tokaido Road. It's just waypoints along these stars heading out to the transfer station to go to, because there, I am sure that is like where freighters all go. They'll all be on the Lost Dragon Road, because that's the nature of, I mean, everybody who's transferring from Bellatrix to the Pleiades is going to do that. Any supplies going back and forth from the Pleiades to Bellatrix is going on the Lost Dragon Road. Anything headed to the Beehive is headed through Gateway Station and Bastion de Massue. And it's going to go out the Rackleton Breaks. So that's another route to the Beehive. In fact, I think I will go over here. And let's talk about this a little bit, because really what we need is, how far off of the Rackleton Breaks are we? A long ways. Wheel. You know what I need to do? Let's talk first about the way station that lives at the breaks. Because this then is a long ass way out to the breaks. This is how you get to the Beehive. Take undo. There we go. And you can see the transfer stations or transfer stations all coincide with these channels. And honestly, Batoon is right on a brake channel and should also have like some kind of line on the Monknia channel. These are all the things that make me kind of think about like traffic. Like nobody's going to want to go all the way down the Lost Dragon Road to Batoon to get onto the Monknia channel. But there would be things on the Monknia channel that would be like, well, like Batoon would be a stopping point from the Beehive to the Pleiades, for example. These are all things that make me. So I know that you're like, why do I keep doing star maps? Well, the fabric of this world is starting to make some sense now. Like, why are things happening the way they do? Right? Why? What's the. So you could have entire stories based around stations. And why did I do that? Oh, okay, good. I didn't screw it up. It's still loading. Right now I'm thinking about trade routes at speeds. Right? Because now I think there should be a station at Rackleton Breaks. Which, Ag, come on, wake up. Right, there's a station at Rackleton Breaks. If you have a station at Rackleton Breaks, then you have this run which probably would not be good to go through the labyrinth. But then I look at Monknia channel, right? We've got a station here in the channel. And then we have like Batoon, right? I mean, these guys look like they're trade stations. Let's duplicate this node. Move it to here. Already pretty close to online. Batoon. We'll take this channel and we'll extend it out a long ways because this is a channel run. We'll run it down. Actually, we can run it up to the station. No, Yeah, let's run it up to the station. No, let's run it up. All the way out. So this is out of the ballpark. Right. And this guy's color needs to be blue because it can be. Because that's a trade line now. We have a primary trade line. So the top view to make sure that it's actually aligned with the proper location. So it looks great on paper. There we go. Because they're not really traveling straight line through the Moncnia Channel. Right? I mean, it's a trade route. Okay. South, right? Yeah. Spinward Lee. Okay. And we're going to duplicate it. Call this one Spinward. There we go. So that's the beehive trade route. Spinward, that's the beehive train route or trade route leeward. Does make you wonder, why the hell would you go to transfer station when you could probably do the same thing right here on the Moncnia Channel? Let's place this in the correct spot. Make it close to, at least close to the trade route. So that station is still something that people want to go to. That's fine. All right. Let's talk about the Beehivian. Do we call it Beehivian? Do we really? Did you really call it Beehivian, guy? Yes, you did. So we will take top view and say yeah. And bring that station down. There we go. To the brakes. And this one is 11 parsecs in slow. Because no matter what, they're going to do goofy, strange stuff because they always do. People come up with the weirdest stuff. You know? The weirdest concepts, the weirdest designs on things. It's weird. It's like they come up with these things all the time. Top view, let's make sure it's in the Rackleton brakes. Heading out the brakes. There we go. It's through the wall, the outside there. Yep. There. There we go. Surfaces, and you're going to be blue because you're a transfer surface, or you're able to do the transfer because you're in the brakes. All right. Now, if we do orthographic like we did before, we now can see these transfer lines. Which is good. That's totally what I'm looking for. We'll re-render this. And then we'll put this into the file that we're doing right now. Make sure everything is good. All the labels should be the same. Nothing should have changed. Add a couple of labels in for the transfers, and all should be fine. Unity map 3, right? Because like, really? How many of these maps do you have, guy? You always ask these questions. These are the tough questions. The ones that make me go, damn it, stop asking those questions. Unity map 3. Down here, but I can't see this as well. I hate this. Here we go, Unity map 3. Okay, I'll copy. Just go here and then say paste. And that's it. There we go. Everything should be the same. Right. So now the only thing is Brodson's light needs to be moved over to here. And while we're here, we'll make sure we're the right color. And we'll call this Rackleton Station. Now we have Rackleton Station out there. Not a problem. And then we have the beehive transfer. Oh, yeah, beehive transfer. And we'll call this one the monk. Yeah. Yep, Pleiades transfer. There we go. That works. Now we've managed to put in all of the little trade stations out there and stuff like that, and that makes some sense. And then we'll call the Reckleton. Like that. Okay, we had one last thing. It's 11 parsecs from Bastion to the breaks. So let's go back and check that. So we've got to take this 16. and we're going to copy it and move it up to the breaks. It's 11 to the breaks. There we go. Now, I don't know. I mean, well, the problem is that the beehive is in the clouds up, and Pleiades is in the clouds out. So really, honestly, there's another station somewhere out there in the Monknia channel where you drop off of out of the channel and then turn and then head up into the clouds at slow speed. So, you know, you're only using the channel for as long as you can. I think we're good. I'm going to call this good. Save it. I'm going to save a copy. We don't do that. That's what I want. All right. And that's it, guys. We're done. So, I'm sure, and this is going to just horrify you, Brent, I'm sure that somewhere along the line, we're going to come back here and work on this a little bit more. But for right now, I think I have enough to make the next few comics and give some real texture to what's going on. They'll have real places and real locations that they're flying through, and there will be some serious like stuff going on. So it's not going to be horrible anymore on this one. Need to go for a walk with my buddy, but he's heading out to do stuff for Mile High Con today, so we've got to go do our walk a little early. So I'm going to leave a few minutes early just so I can go downstairs and get my shoes on and be out of here at exactly 11 o'clock so I can go do my walk with my friend. We've done our bit for King and Country. This map is complete. I'm going to leave it alone. And I'm going to go on ahead and go for my walk. Thanks for joining me, Brent. I'll see you all tomorrow. I don't think we've got Pepper because Pepper's moving tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. But I won't be working on maps, and that's the important part. Okay, good. I'll talk to you all later, and as always, remember to keep your eyes on the stars. Goodbye.